Nityanandam, my name is Manitya Dugananda. I'm from Your Presence Hills. Today I'm going to share with you a topic which is highly sensitive in nature. It is called You Are Not Who You Think You Are. Essentially, it's about ego, touching on the subject on ego. I tell you, nobody likes to be told they're egoistic, especially for people who have safeguarded their ego from being hurt from the longest time. So I find that to talk about the topic of ego is best to help them to bring understanding and let it be a self-discovery process. See, for the last 2 weeks, I've been facilitating a session on this topic, working on the third eye, the Agnya Chakra, which is ego. And I found that the best way to help people discover about how they have suffered from their own ego is by giving them one, knowledge, the right understanding, cognition about ego, and then guide them through the experience of having a glimpse of who they are, the true self. So this is what I'm going to do for all of you in this video, because I found that it was such a powerful experience for many of them who attended the session. And as a result of that, I decided that I'm going to share that in a public forum on my YouTube channel so that more people can benefit from this extraordinary science from the Vedic tradition, gifted by my guru, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashiva. So this video will have two parts. One, giving you the right powerful cognition and understanding about ego. Then the second part, which is going to be a guided meditation, where I will guide you to experience the true self. So let's begin. First part. What is ego? Ego is nothing but carrying the wrong cognition about you. You thinking lesser than who you are. See, you are consciousness. You are divine. But any idea you carry other than your consciousness and divine is ego. If you carry anything lesser than this ultimate truth, you are carrying ego. The arrogance means people who continue to carry this lower idea about themselves and refusing to discover their higher possibility is arrogance. So ego and arrogance are the two negative energy that blocks the third eye, the Agnya Chakra. So let me just go a little bit deeper into the topic of how we created ego ourselves. See, in the process of growing up, as we become to be aware of the different emotions, and we start to take ourselves too seriously. Seriousness is nothing but paying undue importance to something at the expense of everything. This comes from over expectation from life. This comes from essentially forgetting the whole life is nothing but a drama, a cosmic joke. But you taking too much seriousness about life, thinking too much seriousness about you and life, that is the beginning of ego. See, when someone carries the extreme of seriousness, they come to the state of perfectionism. Actually, to me, being perfectionist is a disorder, because they will not only torture themselves because they feel they are not good enough, they try to be perfect. So when they are not experiencing the perfectionism within them, they carry guilt. So they torture themselves. Then they also torture others by trying to be a perfectionist. So people with this attitude of being a perfectionism is, to me, one form of disorder that not only they torture themselves, but they also torture the people around them. See, when you become too serious about yourself and life, you just kills the spontaneity and the creativity which is bubbling inside a being who is connected to the source of life. But when you start to connect with all this seriousness about life, thinking life has, got something, there is a purpose, there is a meaning, then you miss the whole game of the existence. See, for people who understand the purposelessness of life, they start to enjoy, they start to be able to swim in the ocean of existence. When you think that there is a purpose in life, you miss life itself, the reality. Life essentially has no purpose, but there is the meaning of existence. The meaning of existence means focusing on the quality of your consciousness, evolving the quality of consciousness rather than your lifestyle, the quality of your lifestyle. How many cars you have, how many houses you own, how many zeros in your bank balance, and not actually understanding it is the quality of your consciousness that really matters. Now, so because we lost touch with the flow of life, the meaning of life, we started to give undue importance to something at the expense of our own entire existence. That is the greatest missing. So basically, what are the different types of ego? I tell you, I discovered there are actually 4 types of egos that people carry. The first one is inferior ego, thinking something lesser than what you are is the inferior ego. Next, the active ego. The active ego are people who project great self-importance and arrogance. They're very easy to spot. You can smell them from miles away. These are the people who throw their weights around their self-importance. So these are active egos. Now, the third type of ego, I would say the most dangerous and cunning ego, is called the passive ego. Because these are the people nicely hide themselves, their ego, the passive ego, in the name of humbleness. They try to pretend to be humble in front of everyone. And they shy away from taking credit, they shy away from taking ownership. They don't want to be in the spotlight in the name of humbleness. So basically, because they are being so humble, it is not easy to catch them. Because they are being humble, right, in front of everybody. So you think that they are the nicest people around, but actually they are actually doing is safeguarding their ego being hurt because they don't want to expose themselves. So they nicely hide in the name of humbleness. And the worst thing that can happen is they think that humbleness is their nature. This is normal, this is you, they are them in terms of being humble. This is where they missed the opportunity for transformation by being so-called humble and not facing the reality of carrying this passive ego they have nicely protected, safeguarded from the external world, which stopped them from their transformation. Now, the fourth type of ego is the social ego. Social egos comes from, someone who feel they want their own privacy and they don't want people to know who they are. So what they do is that they project certain outer image in the society. And they are so afraid that how their whole identity come crashing if people know about the fact of who they are. Understand? So they are trying to protect their outer image and basically build their inner image. So this whole game they are playing with their outer image and inner image led them to become very self-conscious. Self-consciousness takes away their ability to, be spontaneous, take away the beauty and grace, the ability to radiate beauty and grace when you become self-conscious. If you look at children, they are not self-conscious. They're such beautiful beings to watch. But when you become self-conscious, that's where you become artificial, fake. So because they're too much aware of how people perceive them, how people view them, how people judge them. That self-consciousness, being too self-conscious about how people look at them, is what I call social ego. So these are the 4 egos that many of us are caught in. And we suffer without knowing that actually, if you just drop all this idea about ego, see, ego is nothing coming from the mind, how you want to see yourself, how you cognize about yourself in the world. So if you allow yourself to flow with existence and not to be serious about life or about you, you start to become less and less egoistic. See, the more and more suffering you carry means more and more ego, because the mind builds on suffering. See, the mind cannot justify its existence if you have no boundary about joy and bliss, right? So the mind can only be strengthened if it constantly get engaged in suffering, thinking of all the negativity. This mind can only exist and thrives on negativity, negative thoughts, discontentment, dissatisfaction, all forms of negativity feeds the mind. So if you have a lot of negativity in you, be very clear, you carry a strong ego. Okay? So negativity and suffering are the root of the ego. How ego gets strengthened and built on, based on suffering and negativity. Okay, so that's the understanding from living enlightenment, the enlightened consciousness. So actually, what Swamiji, my guru, says that in Upanishad, it says that actually if we're able to drop ego, we're able to flow with life and understand that life has no purpose. There's no purpose, purposelessness of life. You start to understand that everything is just a drama, a lila, a divine play. When you understand that life is just nothing but a divine play, you start to become a witness. You just learn how to play the different role, wear the different masks interchangeably, and just flow with it without getting clutched or getting yourself in bondage with the different happening in life. When you start to become too serious and become a victim of your own creation of the ego and suffering, that's where you miss the whole purpose of your existence, the meaning of life. So that's what I want to share. So if you look at what I've just spoken, how we created this whole so-called the mind game with the ego and missing the ultimate truth of you are divine, you are consciousness. When you allow the mind to become the center of how you perceive everything, be very clear, ego has already started to thrive and grow in you. So we need to somehow drop this understanding about the seriousness in life and all the wrong cognition you carry about you, and start to move on into the right powerful cognition about your ultimate truth, that you are consciousness, that when you are able to unclutch, complete with all those suffering, you'll be able to experience you as a witnessing consciousness, that nothing, no suffering, nothing, attachment, detachment, whatever it may be, can touch you. You are just the energy of consciousness. So with that, I'm going to guide you into a meditation technique now. It is called Remember the Seer. What is a seer? A seer is someone who can see, witness everything, the future, the past, even the present, without being affected. So you're going to experience the seer in you. Are you ready? Let's get started. I'm going to show you a picture of a seer, and then I'm going to guide you into the meditation. So give me a moment. So this is a picture of the seer. So get ready for the meditation. Remember the seer. I'd like you to sit straight with the head, neck, and spine aligned in one straight line. Find yourself a comfortable meditative posture, whether you can sit in Sukhasana, the easy pose, or Adha Padmasana, the half lotus, or the full lotus. If you are able to sit in full lotus, even better. Now, I'd like you to also have an eye band to cover your eyes so that you shut down from all the outer distraction. So come seated with the eye band. Put on the eye band and start this meditation called Remember the Seer. Whenever you're ready, let's begin the process. You must understand that the moment we open our eyes, we understand we're seeing through the two eyes, our two eyes, but we're actually not seeing. So when you close your eyes and center your awareness on the brown center, the whole energy is centered on the Ajna chakra, the brown center between the two eyes. You will be able to experience the conscious seeing. See, the third eye is the browsing center as well as the eye for conscious seeing. So now sit, bring awareness to your third eye region, the space between the two eyebrows. Start breathing very slowly and deeply. Connect with your breathing. Bring awareness to the body and awareness to your breath. Inhale very slowly and deeply. Enter into a pause, a gap. Then you exhale very slowly and completely. Then the second pause, the second gap. Go on like this, breathing in and out with awareness of the two gaps between the incoming breath, outgoing breath, and incoming breath. Allow the breathing to integrate this body and mind. Allow the breathing to integrate, become the bridge between you and existence. Let the breathing bring you back to the present moment, the space of now. Now I'd like you to, from the dark screen of your brown center, the darkness, the space of darkness, your Chitakasha, start seeing your entire life. From the day you remember as you as a child till now, watch the entire life like a movie, how you witness the day you remember you, all the happening, all the different incidents, just witness. Become an observer, a witnessing consciousness to your entire life, what you think as reality, your life. Start witnessing them. You will realize that what you think as reality now is only another dream. See every incident in your life, how you have suffered, how you created deep suffering within you, deep hurt and pain within you. Look in as a witness, observer, like how you watch something from outside. See that from that witnessing consciousness. You will find new intelligence that reveals to you your blind spot. The moment you start raising the frequency of your consciousness, you will get the intelligence to realize that whatever you're considering as your reality is only a dream. When you understand that everything is only a dream, you will have the energy and the intelligence to alter whatever you want to alter in your life. That awareness only comes when you realize that you are something more than this body and mind. You are something more than this suffering, this ego that you have built throughout life. When you discover that, and when you have a glimpse of that witnessing consciousness as an observer, external observer, you will know how to undo the knots you tie. You know how to liberate yourself from the bondages that you created unconsciously due to the different types of ego. You can sit in this space for at least 21 minutes so that you go through at least one energy cycle. One energy cycle allows the energy to flow through the 7 chakras, the 7 energy center that resides in the entire spinal column. So sit with yourself at least for 21 minutes. You can do 42 minutes to energy cycle and start watching your whole entire life. like a movie, as a witness. So do this meditation. Remember the seer at your own comfort. Allow yourself to sit with yourself for at least 21 minutes and see what happens. Okay? And so I'm going to conclude this video now. I will be most delighted for all of you to try this meditation technique and share your experiences with me through the comment segment. Be more than happy to answer any question if you have and give you further guidance if needed. With that, I would like to conclude this video. Nityanandan, thank you for listening.